More than 200,000 women across the country are diagnosed with breast cancer every year. 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed during her lifetime. New Hampshire has the highest rate of diagnosis of any state in the country, and Maine is not far behind. My Breast Cancer Support is a vital link in helping local women and their families cope with the turmoil and challenges that this diagnosis brings. The mission of My Breast Cancer Support is to provide financial and emotional support to local breast cancer patients throughout the seacoast of New Hampshire and southern Maine on their individual paths towards wellness. The organization was started in 2005 by a local breast cancer survivor, Wendy McCool. She was going through her own breast cancer journey at the time and was journaling or blogging something called Bald Wendy. And, quantum leap in technology, and the board at the time decided to refocus the mission to make it feel more local. There was lots of women within our own communities where we were fundraising that needed financial and emotional support. So we switched to a very local, very seacoast and southern Maine centered mission. Our overarching goal of all of our programs is to let women know that they're not alone. Having a diagnosis of breast cancer is really scary, and so we want to be able to reach out our hand and say, take our hand in this journey if you need us. So the first point of contact for us is when a person's first diagnosed at the cancer center, meeting with their nurse navigator, we give them a new patient bag. So that's got a journal for journaling or writing appointments down. It's got local resources. It's got a scarf, a water bottle, so they can stay hydrated throughout treatment. And that's a way for us to just say, you're not alone, that we're here should you need us along the way. Many women start out and they're working and they're doing really well, and all of a sudden, 2 months in, they lose their job or they find they're too sick to work. And so then we hopefully step in and are able to support them in a way, and they already have the information, they already know from the beginning that there's a resource out there should they need it. So the first piece, should that situation arise, is our financial grants. A very simple application, a very simple process for patients to go through for us to help them either pay their mortgage, fix their car. We've done a variety of things. Our goal is to have that piece of it be a way to take a little bit of the stress out of their day-to-day life so that they don't have to worry about that piece of their lives while they're going through treatment. There's multiple studies out there that say that stress really can affect the course of your disease, and so we want women to focus on getting better and not how you're going to pay your bills. We have hope chests at each of the cancer centers, so that's literally a hope chest of gift cards for gas cards, grocery cards, restaurant gift certificates, and that's a way for the nurse navigators to, as they have the day-to-day relationship with the patient, they may come in one day and say, oh, I don't have, I can't get to treatment tomorrow, I have no gas in my car. And so they're able to give them a gas card, or they might say, I really love to take my kids to the movies, but I can't, I don't have finances to do that. So they're able to give them a movie pass, or a restaurant gift certificate, or a grocery card. So that's a way for them to be supported short term and maybe in a different way. We also have books for kids to help them cope.
My Breast Cancer Support helps patients in so many ways. They're diagnosed with cancer and they don't want to worry about paying for their oil bill, or maybe their kid wants to go to the movies. The Hope Chests, I've given many gift cards to young patients to bring their kids to the movies. They are worried about paying for bills. Maybe they're out of work. My Breast Cancer Support, the programs they have and the grants they have are so wonderful. You don't think about how it affects people at home. They're so worried about the other things. Life continues outside of cancer, and My Breast Cancer Support fills those gaps in so many ways, and our patients are so appreciative, as well as I am.
Words seem inadequate to express the gratitude I feel at your encouragement and generosity.
To the angels from My Breast Cancer Support, simply put, I am still just overwhelmed by the financial assistance you provided to me. Months of being on disability have been a challenge on top of navigating all my health issues. I felt angels just stepped in. I cannot begin to express my thanks for your incredibly generous gift to us. You pulled a giant thorn from our hearts that were filled with worry.
My husband and I are so overwhelmed with your generosity. When one is diagnosed with cancer, your world turns upside down and the financial burden can be so difficult. We truly thank you from the bottom of our hearts. I'm doing great.
I had started all this back in November of last year. I was going in for a flu shot with my son. Within a few days, one of the lymph nodes in my chest had swelled up to the point it was very painful. I ended up going to see one of my regular doctors to try and see what was going on. She sent me for an ultrasound. I decided that I was going to go to the appointment by myself that Monday. My husband was home with my son from school. We had a snowstorm. Tried to look at it as I'm going to drag him all the way down here in the middle of a snowstorm. It's going to be nothing. So as I went in and sat down, and immediately she had walked in, and the first question out of her mouth was, "Do you have anyone here with you?" Instant, okay, I know what's happening now. She did diagnose me with triple negative breast cancer. Right now I am finishing up the aftercare from my double mastectomy. I am waiting to get cleared for starting my physical therapy so then we can get moving with my radiation. With my surgery, they did discover that there was additional cancer in my lymph nodes, so we were having to go a little more aggressively with my radiation. Heather at Wentworth Douglas had given me the information on my breast cancer support at my initial appointment. She had explained that there was a lot of people there that, between the people who function and run everything to all of the women that are involved with them, to be able to have a good support group and just somebody to talk to and sort of get through a lot of it. At the time, I really was hesitant because I was so nervous about trying to talk with others about it. After I had started getting through some of it and finding that I just really needed to speak with someone, so I drafted up the email and sent it off and immediately heard back from Jenny. I had a very supportive family, but you just don't have that same connection with people through my breast cancer support that have been through it. They understand it. They have those same fears, those same concerns. It started to make me feel a little bit more not secluded from everything and away from everyone and what was going on. It gave me something that I wanted to be involved in and help with and try and give back as well, not just receiving the help myself. It gave me something to look forward to. They were able to help me with financially, as far as helping me with my mortgage. Not only the financial end of it, which takes a huge stress off you and just really makes you at ease with what's going on, especially going into such a time with surgery and whatnot where you're just not sure how you're going to handle those sort of things. It took a lot of stress away. I would recommend my breast cancer support to any women or family or even men that are going through this, to be able to get the support, even if it's not when you're sure you're ready for it. They're there when you are. Just reaching out if you need that emotional support, if you are in a position where you need the financial support, but don't feel that that's the only reason to reach out. Just having that connection with them and having somebody to talk to really helps put you in a better place. Final surgery will probably be around January or February, and then hopefully from there I'll get the clearing and move on with my life.
To help us support local patients, please visit us at mybreastcancersupport.org.